Traders, fantastic week last week with really an abundance of opportunity, a ton of opportunity, and great follow through across the board in some in-play names. Now, notably, as I laid out in I think the last two watch lists, the breakout and Bitcoin idea that was certainly on the top of my list, and it showed awesome follow through last week. I think undoubtedly one of the top swing breakout opportunities of the year so far, and a really, really good one to go back and study. Now, it's a travel weekend for me, so this watch list is going to be a little bit shorter, more concise than usual, but as always, looking very forward to sharing some of the top ideas that I have for the upcoming week with all of you. All right, so let's get straight into it, starting off, of course, again with Bitcoin, looking for some continuation in Bitcoin. Now, I closed out my swing long on Friday in Bitcoin and some other related names. But with that being said, this was obviously a major, major breakout in Bitcoin. And so while I'm not looking to re-enter from a 1 week plus trade time frame again at these prices, I am going to be looking for continuation setups going forward. So similar to previous breakouts in Bitcoin, just looking at IBIT here, obviously the ETF. When we've broken out, we've, most recently when we broke this downtrend and then reclaimed moving averages, a nice bull flag and continuation. Once we break out, we've often experienced some significant continuation and momentum in the past across several breakouts in different cycles. And so going forward, looking for something similar. Just for, in terms of time frame, 2+ day hold, really maximum there. Now, specifically, what I'll be looking for continuation entries would be higher lows, but ideally would be multi-day or 1 week plus consolidations where I'm able to take advantage of a consolidation breakout with skewed risk reward just for up to a 2-day hold for some continuation and further momentum. While that momentum continues and the uptrend holds to the upside, I'm really going to just be looking to ride the wave. And the same goes for many associated names, whether I'm looking at Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, or Coinbase, for example, or MSTR, or your miners, for example, of which there's a lengthy list. And so it's important to also monitor relative strength and flow with all associated names. All right, next up, Google. So it had excellent action last week after it firmly held its 200-day after reclaiming a few weeks ago. Earnings about a week and a half away, just to remember. And then obviously reclaiming its 10-day and closing firmly above that on the week. Now the all-important area of resistance is 180, 181, which we really need to be able to clear and close above. But it was breached on Friday. And going forward, I'm going to need to see that area and major band of resistance become support. So if I do notice some relative strength in Google after it's obviously had relative weakness for the most part of this year, especially compared to its peers and overall market, if we get some relative strength, if we clear that band of resistance, it turns into support. That's where I'm going to look for a long entry for next week, looking to trail against the low of day initially and then previous low of day after day one. Continuation in some drone defense names. Now, there are a lot of them, but after the breakouts on Friday, what really stood out to me was the action in UMAC and Aero, a newer name, given their technical positioning. Versus ORCAT, which hasn't really cleared this area of resistance yet. So I like UMAC for continuation instead. Something like UMAC, for example, while the ideal entry was on Friday, I'd also be open to entering for some continuation if I notice a higher low and a reclaim of its intraday VWAP on Monday, for example. Next up, we have nuclear names. A higher low breakout in some nuclear names. So nuclear names, you've got NNE, you've got LTBR, you've got SMR, and you have OKLO. Out of all of those, my favorite would be OKLO along with SMR. Very, very similar charts. Both have similar resistance areas in terms of moving averages. And so from technical side, those are my two favorites. Now, what I really need to see here is one sector strength. I need to see them display strength within their sector against the overall market. And I'd consider a long entry against the low of day if they're able to clear their 20-day and Friday's high. Now, between OKLO and SMR, which one am I going to focus on? It really depends which one has better RVOL, which one has better momentum intraday, and which one obviously displays the best strength on that day relative to its peers. But we're going to be watching that very closely. And then lastly, we'll move to some back burner small cap ideas. So let's put on VWAP. First one is PROK. PROK, you can see we've got a very clear area of support really around 450. We have major resistance back in the fives, above fives and 550s, and it looks like we're slowly drifting lower, entering backside here with declining volume, so still need to be a little bit cautious, but ideally this has one last shove through five, stuffs a little bit of elevated volume short term, giving an opportunity short versus the high of day for some unwind there. But if volume remains low and it slowly fizzles lower, I have zero interest. ABVE, another one, very similar price action to PROK from its first 2 days. But I'd really only be interested in a short here if we can push back into some overhead areas from Friday 350 up to 4. Ideally, we get a quick push 350 to 4, some increasing volume in the short term. We're able to shake the tree a little bit, so we're able to get some longs to re-enter for continuation. We're able to get some stubborn short swings to exit the trade, get a nice exchange at a higher price in the high 3s, 4, and then we get a significant stuff and fail, and that's where I would be really one of the only scenarios in which I'd be looking to trade the stock and be short versus that failure zone and high of day. And then lastly, FTFT from Friday. Very, very sharp reclaim on Friday, a nice strong close. I think it definitely caught some shorts from pre-market looking for an all-day fade, and headache-free fade off guard. So ideally, after its close, we get any sort of momentum, in the early hours on Monday. Really one of the only scenarios in which I'd be interested if we get some fireworks early on, $4 or $5, some chasing going on and some exchange at higher prices, and if that's followed by significant failed follow through, then I'd be looking to short lower highs for some intraday momentum and a reversion, but just a back burner idea, something that I'll have some alerts for and check in with it in the morning. So that's everything for the upcoming week. Nothing A+, nothing of the caliber of the breakout in Bitcoin or coin, etc., from the previous couple of weeks. That's been on my watch list. So going to be looking to take it a little bit more day to day until we see a little bit of the, I would say, reallocation and flow that we're seeing in the overall market subside, and some cleaner levels develop and signals and relative strength across sectors shine through. So until then, taking a little bit slower, move to move. And yeah, would be interested in hearing all of your thoughts and what your top watches are for the upcoming week. Let me know, drop it in the comments, and I will see you all again next week. Good luck.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition, the traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part, you don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.